pa' gastar. Esta noche tú y yo nos vivimos la película. Luces, cámara, la acción, después en mi recámara. En el duelo no se sabe quién ganará. So baile, baby, ese seguro y retrocede. Que me encanta la manera en que tú lo mueves.
Solo pégate un poquito, mami, que yo quiero enseñarte lo que yo tengo pa' ti. Lo que tengo pa' ti. Sé que te va a encantar como me yo.
What is going on, Cowboy Nation? Welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm your host, Primetime Phil, and we are into Week 9 of the NFL season, the 2024-2025 NFL season. Has its roller coasters up and down, nothing unpredictable on this channel, but one thing that is definitely not unpredictable is my co-host, Gametime. Gametime, welcome, sir. And he is texting away. I don't even know if he hears me.
Welcome. No, I'm sorry. I'm putting up the... Nah, don't worry about it. I'm posting to social media. Sorry.
Nice.
I wasn't quite ready. But yes,
no, my
what's
bad,
going on, everybody? How is everybody doing? I'm doing good. Living large.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it's been this week. I am, I was telling Bryan right before this, man, our trip is sneaking around the corner, man. I have some meetings this week on Monday and Tuesday. I have some meetings later on in the week that some coworkers are going to be covering for me, some important ones. So I appreciate that as much. But I think what's nice is, of course, you know, me and you, we appreciate what the season is, and you know, nothing has been, you know, shocking. I think what's shocking on my side is how many injuries we've had to push with this story.
Shocking part. Yep.
To push with all this storyline, and of course, you know how stagnant they were before all of it kind of, you know, happened with the injuries. But you know, we still, no matter what it is, we are still sitting at 3-4. The record that we thought, you know, I, of course, going into this week, was thinking we're going to be more of an even 4-4. We didn't know how Atlanta was going to be. I was saying that I thought Atlanta was going to be definitely better. I thought he was going to be on the top, maybe possibly making that push for the South. And it looks like they're right now on pace. But, of course, with the Buccaneers and Saints, you don't know exactly where you're going to get with them. But, you know, competitive division. So Atlanta coming in, definitely looking a lot better than they have in previous years. How are you, when you look at Atlanta, what do you think about that matchup?
Yeah, I think the defense is not very good. You know, Atlanta's defense is, you know, definitely can be had. I know we talked about Detroit, Dallas, you know, needed to score a lot of points. Well, right now, let's just be honest, people. You know, I know people are going to say, well, you weren't playing good before the injuries. I get that. But we also had a very young team, relying on young offensive linemen, relying on a young cornerback since Bland was out. He was out, relying on a young defensive end because we lost Sam Williams. Then he went out. Mm-hmm. So we're not only relying on young, we're relying on young. Yeah, we're relying on backups to young. So.
Yeah. Well, let's be real.
We got 3 wins.
Yeah,
we're right where I thought we would be with everybody. So I want everybody to understand that. I predicted us 3-4, and then I predicted us to win the next 2. So, you know, I know it's an uphill battle.
Definitely.
Don't get me wrong, but
definitely.
I mean, I see what's going on in the chat and the chuckles, but the truth of, the truth of the matter is, Atlanta's defense is not very good now. Obviously, you know, the obvious thing is, can we stop the offense for Atlanta? That'll be the true test. So I don't have that answer for you, but
I think
I believe my offense is going to go off tomorrow.
I think, to me, every single game, I'm going into it. Will my offense get going, and will my defense be able to stop them? And that's a very big question on both sides of the ball. It's not. They've shown some inconsistencies, and they've shown more on the negative side than they have on the positive. They eventually get stuff going by certain parts of the game. I'm not talking about the defense, of course. I'm talking about the offense. When the defense isn't into it in the beginning of the game, I don't really tend to see them kind of catch up later on. There are some tops depending on sometimes the game itself, but when you look at these ones where they're actually able to, like San Francisco, where they kept them down to 6 points in the first half, that was, to me, if you can do something like that and repeat something like that, that, of course the offense got to do their part, but I mean, that's all you can really ask of your defense, really. Oh, we went muted. You went muted. I don't know what happened.
The offense needs to get going, and I expect them to get going. So, and we'll break down again. It's all a joke, and that's fine. People can have their fun. It is what it is. They got their own issues on their own team, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But we're 3-4. Or I think we're lucky to be 3-4. Quite honest, and we're not that far away. If we can get a win, and then come home and get that situation straightened out, then yeah, maybe we can be competitive. But right now, we just need to get a win. So I think Dallas's offense can definitely put points up tomorrow. It's the highest over/under total on the whole card for a reason. Dallas will score. It's just whether they score enough. That'll be the interesting debate.
That is correct.
I'm almost kind of waiting. I hate to say this, but I'm almost kind of waiting for a Dak injury, like for him to be out the mold. That's the only thing that hasn't happened that I'm expecting to happen. It's like, what else could possibly happen? Oh, well, Dak Prescott gets out for a month just when you think you have, like you win this game, but he goes down, God forbid. And I hate saying that, but I'm just saying that's the feeling I have with this team. It's like you get a little excited and then you find out, oh, well, Diggs has got a slight tear in his calf. Well, okay, that means he's not playing tomorrow. So, again, we're going with our 4th and 5th corner here. 3rd, 4th, and rookie corner. So, it is what it is.
Yeah,
nobody cares about the injuries.
No, I like it just in the sense that it sucks. I mean, it's part of the game, and some teams have to suffer it a little bit more than others. And but when you suffer with them, I mean, you got to the next, the glass half full kind of situation is, where is our depth? What does our depth look like? Guys that wouldn't have been on the field maybe for 2 or 3 years getting shoved out there, and you have to compete against NFL caliber guys that are probably pro bowlers. Let's be real, because some of those corners that we had in the beginning, they weren't our first. Diggs is out, right, with a tear in his calf or something like that, and you got Bland out.
They didn't say he's out,
yes. But come on, man, that to me, there is something there. So you're not starting with the guys that you're going into the season with, and whether it's the defensive ends and stuff like that, I still have to give them credit for being able to do what they did last week with all those guys out. It definitely shows me a lot on this defense, and I like that. I mean, it doesn't mean that this is the defense I want to go forward with. Oh, man, but it at least makes me excited in the sense that we have depth there, and if those guys have to come in for a play or two, hey, man, that's going to be great. But they just kind of have to do this whole thing where we're talking about the NFL is a week-to-week league. Well, that's how that's how the Dallas Cowboys have to kind of treat this 1 week at a time. Are you going to win this week? Are you going to win next week? All right, so we put a bunch of games together. Now where are we looking at? So you can't really look too far ahead, and you just kind of have to take every game. And like you said, I mean, Atlanta wasn't that big of a talk when they were going into the season. I know I was a little bit hyped on that train. But sitting at the first place spot, Kirk Cousins looks pretty comfortable back
right
there.
Than I was. Yeah, you were more right than I was. So we'll see. They like to work the middle of the field, which is an issue. At least it was against the 49ers. So, yeah, we'll see. Again, everybody gets... It's not good about Diggs, but anytime you have a pull of your hamstring or of your quad, it's a slight tear. I just want people to understand. Anytime there's a strain, it's a slight tear of your fibers in your hamstring or quad. So he could still play, but he's not going to be 100%. I just assume him not play at this point. Yeah. But we'll see. I don't know. To me, if it was that serious, they would have already ruled him out, unless they're doing it for gamesmanship, but that's kind of a reverse psychology thing. But regardless, I think if we score the rock tomorrow, if we can put up 30-plus points, I think we will definitely be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
So it won't be with Zeke.
It won't be with Zeke.
It won't be with Zeke.
He's being disciplined. He's being disciplined. I know I've been more on the Cooks bandwagon, and I have to see it together. They have to kind of get into a rhythm. After a while, it's just these couple of plays is just not going to do that. I mean, if you look at Zeke definitely was running the ball a lot better, but he needed a lot more carries. So I think that's the same thing with Cooks. I would love to see him as our feature back, but I don't care if Dottle is out there as well too. I'm with Bryan, man. I just want to see the ball get ran, and let's get some time of possession on our side and help that defense out a little bit. So when they make a play, we can kind of just go, okay, well, because you made that amazing play, we're going to give you about 5 to 9 minutes, because not off the clock, but at least you're not getting right back on the field with a third and out.
The ball well with I just think we're going to run the ball well tomorrow. It's just a matter of can we be a little more balanced, not be behind. I don't think we're not going to be able to shut down Atlanta. That's the problem, and they're going to probably be able to run the ball, but. Again, I feel like a back against the wall situation.
That's some linemen. They got some linemen out.
Somehow get to 4-4. If you can get to 4-4, come on now. You can get to 4-4 with all the shit talking and all the
injuries, all that's going. Yeah, exactly. That says a lot of resilience.
Only a game and a half. Come on, that's fine. Going into the Eagle game, which again, they
could get away from us very quickly.
Mike and Bland back for that game. That would be exciting. It's a shame we're not going. Oh wait, we are going.
That's right.
I can't believe it's next week, Phil.
Man, that's what I was saying. It was right there. I got some meetings, and then by the time I know it,
we're gonna be what's today? Saturday. Yeah,
it'll be Saturday. We'll be deep in there.
Yeah, we'll be.
So isolated.
We'll be somewhere.
Isolated showers at the end of the week, and then pretty clear at the end at the weekend. So I was looking ahead.
We'll be duct taping Mark Holmes to a park bench up by now. Dallas will be Atlanta and Philly. What's up, Wild Boy Trey? How are you, bro? I want a top 10 pick. No NFC team is beating Detroit. Ultra, I hear you, but I'm not going to go down that road. If I'm the Eagles fan, I'd be happy.
Who's their backup quarterback? If their quarterback went down, for example,
that's the team to beat right now.
If the Lions' backup went down, their quarterback went down, something major happened. See that changes the whole landscape, So, and I don't wish bad things upon anything, because Detroit definitely looks like that team.
What are you talking about? You've been hating all year. It's always hate week for you.
Yeah, but
Wade and Mark mud wrestling in Dallas. Yeah, me and Phil are going to end up going our own. I can see it now. Me and Phil are going to end up in Dealey Square trying to reenact the JFK shooting, while Mark and Wade are go into a mud wrestling strip show or something. I could see it. I could see Mark getting sucked into Wade's. Come on, I know a good spot.
There's always that guy. Trust me, we always have that friend. When we went to Tampa, for the Dallas game, we have that friend. Right after there's a strip club right down the street. We're just like, oh, dude, man. And everybody in the stadium is going to be at that same club. Like, no, that's okay, man.
Thanks, Dustin.
But there's always that guy in the group that's always suggesting it. So yes. We definitely understand that. But when you look into week 9, man, we're already deep into the season. I don't know. Do you want to go over some of these games that are coming out?
Well, Dustin Bosley with a super chat. Let's get some super chats going for Primetime.
There you go. I appreciate that. Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate that.
I was waiting for you, but you didn't.
I'm sorry. Sometimes the way it comes up now, it blends in a lot. So I appreciate you pointing those out a lot. What I was going to say was, do you have to push something? When we get together, I need you to show me how you monetize stuff that was. You go back and claim things. I don't know how the whole thing goes.
Yeah. It's just basically you got to. We'll talk about it. But there should be a button that says monetize all, but we'll see.
So I know on the Thursday night game, of course, it was on Thanksgiving, really, for Halloween. And I'm like, really, Thanksgiving? I'm like, I actually went with Houston. I thought Houston was going to win that one. Of course, I had picked the Jets on a lot of games, And so the Jets, man, of course that's when they turn it on. When I'm like, you know what, forget it, man. Jets are kind of hopeless. And then of course I'm going against Mouse. Mouse is destroying me on fantasy. He had Wilson, and Wilson had like 30 points, and their Jets defense had like 14 points. I'm like, man, when you get a defense scoring 14 points or 15 points,
make it rain. What's up, Coyote?
Thank you. Appreciate that. I love the ghost thing right there. Nice. But when I went into that game, I thought Houston was going to kind of run away with this, but I got to give them the Jets credit for really getting that game. Did you pick the Jets? You said.
I did.
Yeah, Vinny, you're right, man.
Yes.
The Jets do have a good defense. It's just they weren't. Anytime they were doing well, their offense wasn't complimenting.
Fly Eagles fly. Look at it. Look at Twiz.
I got to get more airtime with my Fly Eagle.
Look at the Eagles.
With the Fly Eagle fly. Yeah, I know they love those emojis over there running all over there. It's just. But I appreciate it, man. The support. Yeah. The support.
I like the Band-Aid around the star. That's cute.
That's a nice little touch, right? It's definitely well needed.
Yeah. They don't want to hear about that. They think we're using an excuse.
No, I mean, how many times have we brought it? But we pushed past it.
8 years of using it as an excuse.
Yeah.
Now, what happened was, like, before we break all the games down, what happened is we went thin. We knew we were thin. And then our offensive line is shaky, no doubt. I can't argue. And I'm not talking about the rookie left tackle either. I'm talking about the veteran Pro Bowl right tackle who stinks right now, and Terrence Steele. So I don't have an answer for you. Zach Martin, it looks like he's doing okay, but he's not the Zach of old. So, it is what it is. And then all of a sudden you get decimated on defense. It's a recipe for a disaster. So that's where we're at. But that doesn't mean that we're giving up. Tomorrow holds some optimism for me. But anyway, let's get into the games. And I'll get right into it if you'd like. Prime time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, don't let me forget. I got to ask you something after we're done. But all right, let's skip over. Dallas is a 1:00 game. Very interesting. I'm not used to that, but we'll come back to that. Let's go.
I think they deserve it because they haven't deserved any kind of prime time games and stuff. I think they should be shoved down to nasty Thursday night games as a punishment.
Yep. All right, we'll go with the Buffalo Bills at home, hosting the 6-2 Bills.
Be more competitive.
Hosting the 2-5 Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's sitting at 2-5. Tua back, I think, as much as I give crap to him.
6.5.
Last year when he went down, that's when I realized that Miami offense does not move unless Tua is in the game. And this year kind of shows as well. Now, it being in Buffalo, I think Buffalo should be able to take this game. You should probably see Amari Cooper a little bit more involved in this game plan, but maybe I'm not hearing. Maybe sometimes I don't have my ear to the ground. So unless Cooper is hurt, because he always seems to be hurt, but I would have to take the Bills in this matchup, just because I think if anything, at least the home field advantage.
Chris
May. Thank you. Nice. I appreciate that. That's a nice little picture there. Throwing up
was
the
that
X.
boobs? What is that?
Either that is a butt cheek.
What? Butt cheeks, ass. Okay, I just wanted you to clarify that. Yeah, the Bills are -6, 6.5, depending.
Glory hole. Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Bills at home. I think this could be an upset, though. I think the Dolphins could be an upset.
That's what I'm saying. That is a possibility, but
it's a tough one.
It is a tough one, man. Only 6%
I might have
of people
to roll the dice and go Dolphins.
Yeah, 6% of people. If it went all Bills, I would probably switch it over.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's face it. I picked the Jets, and 18% picked the Jets. So I don't know. But yeah, if I'm honestly picking the game, give me the Bills at home. I don't know how you can not right now. But I don't know. Something's telling me Miami Dolphins are going to win the game. But I'll have to check it out further.
That'd be pretty cool.
Cincinnati Bengals, 1 o'clock.
Against the Raiders.
hosting the Oakland Raiders.
Again, this is another one.
Raiders
We're only
are
6% is taking the Raiders. I would actually, unfortunately, got to go with that 90-something% because I think the Bengals are definitely a better team. And as long as they can kind of push forward
7-point favorite
by the end, I think the Raiders will be able to make a push towards the end. But I think the Bengals will be far enough ahead that it won't matter.
Yeah, 7.5. They're a 7-point favorite at home. Give me the Bengals. The bungholes. That's what I would go with. All right, moving along to the next game. Another very confusing game. Cleveland Browns, the 2-6 Browns, but
they got Winston. You don't know.
Winston.
You don't know which Winston is going to show up. So I mean, if he shows up and he's balling, then they have a really good chance of just whooping the Chargers.
Yeah, Cleveland's hosting the Chargers.
Yeah,
the Chargers.
I am picking Chargers on this just because I think they can slow the game down with their run game. And that's a hard ball. They love to do that. So I would pick Chargers on there, but I wouldn't bet anything on this.
No, but the Browns are a 1.5 point underdog at home. So
see what I'm saying? They don't even want to pick it.
Interesting game. What do you guys think?
So Christmas says Browns.
Yeah, TCU, the Horned
Twist
Frogs.
says Cleveland. Coyote says Chargers.
That's a tough one, but I'll probably lean towards the home team.
Do you think the Browns?
But yeah,
he doesn't want to pick.
Probably. Another ugly game. 94% or 34% picked Cleveland. So Cleveland and a massage. Yeah, right.
I think this next one's a little bit more even.
Moving along. Oh God, well, there's a lot of bad games tomorrow. Can I just say that?
Yes.
A lot of bad games. The Tennessee Titans hosting the New England Patriots, and the Titans are without their second. Now, I think they're going. I don't know if Will Levis is playing, or he might be playing.
Let's see. Here we go.
I'm trying to think.
I'm gonna go Tennessee on this one. I don't know, man. I don't feel comfortable with either one of these teams. I like what the Patriots are doing a little bit more, but somehow I'm still going to pick Tennessee. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Drake May, the young guy,
Coyote.
a little bit of a role. I think they're
Levis starts, they lose.
Yeah, I don't know. Tennessee is in sell mode. You give me New England. That's just me. You give me the Patriots. I don't know. Again, ugly game.
It is.
Friggin' disgusting game. I mean, it's bad. But I don't know. If they're going with Will Levis, maybe they do something. Tony Pollard. I don't know. What's everybody saying? Pats? Yeah, I'm probably leaning towards the Pats. Another matchup here. This is an interesting one. On the surface, the numbers don't indicate where I think the game should be. The Giants hosting the Washington Commanders. 95% of the public is betting on Washington. I think this is a game they could slip up.
Yeah, well, I mean, in general, they actually these are rivalry games. You don't know how these are going to end up. To me, Washington should just blow the Giants out of the water. I mean, it shouldn't blow them. Yeah, just blow them. So they should just blow them out of the water, and it shouldn't even be a close game. But again, these defense, sometimes the Giants the defense makes it a lot closer. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden this is kind of like a shootout. But I don't see the Giants being able to put up that many points. So unless somehow the defense really comes together and kicks their ass, I just can't see the Giants staying in this game, even with it being a divisional game.
I hear what you're saying, but Washington isn't that good.
No, it's just Giants are that bad. I think that's what it is. I'm not looking at Commanders going, man.
I don't think they are. Their offense is. I think Giants defense could cause a lot of problems for Jaden Daniels.
Well, that's what I was saying.
I do.
If they show up, then it's a different game. But otherwise, I mean, no.
I think this is where the Eagles take the division. I think the Washington loses, Eagles win. Eagles are the number one in the division after tomorrow, and I am almost wishing it. Sorry, league commander, I don't see you in here, but they're already getting annoying. These Washington fans are already getting annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
We had one guy on Mark's broadcast saying, "Look, we're nowhere near our peak." Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Don't make it sound like
Slow it
that.
down.
Yeah, that's not.
Commanders are going to blow them out, Ultra says. I don't think so.
That's what I think so,
I don't
too.
think they're blowing them out. But I could be totally
I think
wrong,
they're blowing them.
You know,
I think they're
I
blowing
don't think so. Yeah. You just want to, yeah. Danny's, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just have a weird feeling. But then again, I have a soft spot for the Giants. I mean, a blind spot, not a soft spot. I have a blind spot. Tyler Jost. Hey, game time and prime time. Hopefully our Cowboys can get back on the winning track tomorrow. Yeah, that's the plan. Now, hopefully they get the memo.
Yeah, exactly. They wake up on the right side of the bed. I don't know, the green lights when they're going to the stadium. I don't know what else they want. I mean, the fortune cookie to predict your fortune. You're gonna get 5 TDs. You know, like I don't know, man. Just get out there and go play the damn game, man. Be humble, right, Vinny? Be humble.
Early game, Chris. Yes, 1:00. Mm-hmm. I just need to. Well, we'll get to Dallas. Let's finish this.
Exactly.
Washington should blow
distracted.
them out. You're right. Washington should. But with that exciting win at home, I think it's going to be a very close game tomorrow in New York. You heard it here.
I don't know if you're a Giants fan, how you buy those tickets with confidence. So, whatever.
Well, I just don't think Washington's that good. I think they could stop Washington's run. Jaden Daniels is nicked up. I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong. Next crappy matchup is the 1:00 where the New Orleans Saints, the 2-6 Saints who haven't won a game since blowing out the Cowboys, head to Carolina to play in the 1-7 Panthers.
I keep picking the Saints and they keep freaking losing. I think the only time I didn't lose on there is
the public.
Yeah, that's who I'm picking. I think that the Saints are going to get this one just because the Panthers are that bad. That's the only reason why now by this point. It isn't that the Saints are like, this is what we talked about with the Saints. Yeah, they're coming out firing, but how are they going to be later on in the season? Now look at them, we're looking at them like, how many did they lose? 6 in a row? Now, probably later on in the season, they'll win probably 5 to 7 in a row. You don't have any idea with this team. Right now, when I look at this team, I just think that the Panthers are just a worse team than the Saints.
You give me the Panthers. Give me the Panthers tomorrow. The Saints are in sell mode. They're already talking about trading Lassiter on Tuesday. He may not even play tomorrow. They might be holding some pieces because of the trade deadline. They are in sell mode, the Saints. Sell, sell, sell. They are unloading. So I don't have any trust in the Saints on the road. I just have a feeling that the Panthers, man, I think they're going to win the game. I think the Saints have given it up. They haven't won a game since beating Dallas. And no, Twiz, I never said they were a powerhouse. Never did. I never did. So, but yeah, I don't know. Another crappy matchup. Like give me a team who's trying to play for jobs, not a team who's sitting people because of the trade deadline. Lattimore will be a chief or a commander. There you go. So what I heard was true. Panthers are bad, but, I'm not saying bet money on this, people. We're just doing wins and losses. Don't give me a team with the Saints.
Dude, J.C. Horn can go over there. I don't think he's that great of a corner. I thought he was a lot better coming out of J.C. Horn, if that's who they're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's an ugly game, though. That's why I said if you look at the slate of games just starting, other than Miami, Buffalo, that's the best one. Obviously the Dallas game, but we'll touch on that. Who cares about Cincinnati Raiders? Who cares about Cleveland Chargers? Who cares about New England, Tennessee? All right, Washington Giants is fun for us, but Saints Panthers is crappy. This game is okay. The next game, we'll talk about the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Denver Broncos.
So
Yes,
if you would have
Tyler
picked this a
Jost,
couple
you
of
may
weeks,
share it, my man.
yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I would have said the Ravens are going to run away with this with the Broncos. I still think the Ravens win this game, but I don't think it's by a larger margin than I would have put originally. So the Broncos are definitely getting something together. I don't think they're as good as their record says they are. But, again, week-to-week NFL, again, how's it going to look like in 5 weeks? Is this team going to be on the losing side of it? If I had to pick right now, of course, I got to go Ravens just because I'm thinking they're more of a playoff contender, where Broncos I still see as them trying to build a team.
Yeah, give me the Ravens. Ravens go to 6-3. Broncos 5-4. Still very respectable. That's where I'm going to sit. Baltimore Ravens win the game. Moving to our first 4:05 game. 4 o'clock game. Arizona Cardinals, the 4-4 Cardinals hosting the Chicago Bears, who let one get away.
Dude, that was
FedEx Field or whatever the heck it's called.
That was a crazy play, man. Especially with the guy running, talking,
and then we have Commanders fans saying, "Yeah, we drew it up. Noah Brown's a beast." What the f you say? Noah Brown stinks.
Yeah, again,
he actually had the balls
out.
to say that. Noah Brown. What are you talking about, Noah Brown?
The guy that just got cut by both of his teams.
Stop.
So yeah.
Stop.
But yeah, just a smart play, just be in the back of the group. If they would have just hit it downwards and back, forwards and like that, it wouldn't have been anything. But I was happy for them. I didn't think anything negatively on it.
Don't break your TV, Ultra.
But when you look at this, I mean, with the Bears, they just let it get away.
My son wants Genty.
Arizona, I think, is surprisingly. Again, I wanted to put them on the lower end earlier in the season. I think I'm getting a little bit more on their bandwagon in the sense of I like how they play. They play some tough football. Murray running around is just the funniest stuff ever, just because it doesn't look like he's running full speed. He just looks like he's like barely taking like a couple steps, and he's just a little bit out of your reach, So I think that he could do this to the Bears and rumble around enough to at least get that offense going to, I don't know, win by at least two field goals. So I would put Arizona.
Yeah, I'll take Arizona at home. I've been on the Arizona train. Chicago has impressed me though, so this is going to be a good game. Yeah, this is actually a very good matchup.
Again, this is a team that's gotten lucky. I think. Yeah, they had this done to them last week, but I think they've been on the receiving end as well of getting some of those victories that they shouldn't have been able to walk away with.
Yeah. So I think they dropped to 4-4. Arizona moves to 5-4, getting back to that team that I told you at the beginning of the year that could vie for the division. They let a couple slip away. Arizona is a decent team, people. Yeah. Moving on to the next 4:05 game. It is not the game of the week. Philadelphia Eagles hosting the 5-2 Eagles hosting the 2-6 Jags.
So
Doug Peterson comes in. They give him a 3% chance of winning the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So when I look at this matchup, I think it's a lot closer than 3%. Let's just be real. This should be if Lawrence 4%. Shows up, if the offense goes, this should be a battle, and I think Jacksonville can definitely win this one. I've been picking the Eagles as they've gone on this little streak. I mean, it's not been surprising to me. The matchups they've been very favorable their way, and I think this also goes again to the Eagles' direction. But I can easily see how the Jaguars could get out. And again, if you're a team that gets beat by the Jaguars and they're 2-6, I think that's a little bit misleading just because they can turn it on at any point, and they tend to turn it up on Dallas whenever we have to play them. So they don't have, again, that's exactly what I'm going to put. No Brian Thomas and Christian Kirk. So Eagles should be able to get it just because those are some big weapons going down the field that he's going to be missing. So I think that's what I'm picking. I'm picking the Eagles to win this at home, and just because, of course, you're not stretching that defense for the Eagles.
Yeah, I expect the Eagles to win. Jacksonville is not a great team right now. I mean, ifs and buts, anything can happen.
Yeah.
But they don't have Brian Thomas Jr. They don't have a Christian Kirk. What do you got to? I mean, I don't know who else they have, but ETN, okay. Trevor Lawrence is
Yeah,
having a
I mean, you need one more
mediocre
weapon.
year
You
at
need more
best.
weapons than that. Let's be real. That's
Yeah, I mean, so
well, he's getting
Eagles gonna
better
win.
each week. So I mean, he has
Eagles
played
get
better.
to 6-2.
But I definitely think that too.
Yeah. Moving along, this is the game of the week.
I would say so too.
This is the game of the week. Super Bowl favorite here. Both teams actually. Green Bay Packers hosting the Detroit Lions. Green Bay is 6-2. Detroit is 6-1.
I think
this is a harder game than
I think
you would
it is
think,
too.
but nobody's stopping the Lions.
That's what I think too. I think the Lions are just a really good team. When they get beat, it's just, I don't think going into the next week it's going to dictate how that next week is going to go. So we all know how this week to week goes. I think the Lions, yes, they can lose to the Packers, and does that make them the underdog by that point? No, because you still got to play that same exact game in Detroit. So if I still have to put something on this, though, I would still ride with the Lions until they show me otherwise.
Yeah, Lions are on a mission. For their sake, I hope they stay healthy, because I think, and I go back to the beginning of the year, everybody. This was never going to be about Dallas' regular season record and 12 wins. It was, even if they were on a roll right now. Let's say Dallas was 5-2 right now. I would be saying the same thing. Yeah, but what are you doing in the playoffs? So for everybody that says, "Oh my God, it's funny, I feel bad for you with Dallas," don't feel bad for me. We still got 3 wins. We're still in it. We got to go out and win a game and then hopefully get some people back. If that's the case, then maybe, just maybe, you can put stuff together by the end of the year. And in the immortal words of, not immortal, he's still alive, but Bill Parcells, the season starts after Thanksgiving, okay? That's when the season starts. So you want to be in the mix, and
Getting closer there, yeah.
I keep going back to Dallas, but Detroit Lions are a better team than Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love is going to play. It's not very cold. I don't think the Green Bay is going to be able to keep pace with Detroit. And it would be one thing if it was just a running game,
Mark?
Phil. I mean, at the passing game, but the running game is ridiculously good for the Detroit Lions. So give me the Lions, man. I love the Lions tomorrow. I think Green Bay gets, sorry, Sledhead. If you're watching this, I think you're in trouble tomorrow. So moving along, 425. Seattle Seahawks with no DK Metcalf hosting the Los Angeles Rams. What says you, Primetime Phil?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing when you look at the Rams, where Puka Nacua went out, or Cooper Kupp went out, and then Puka Nacua kind of showed his stardom. I think Seahawks kind of played a little bit better when Metcalf isn't in the lineup. I know that kind of sounds ridiculous, but I just think they're that inspired, or they know they need to step up. Metcalf, I think he's a beast, and when he's on his game, he can be a game changer, but I've seen so many laps in judgment that he reminds me kind of another Mike Evans kind of guy, where he can be dominant in a Pro Bowler, but at the same time, he can just drop wide open passes that are deep and right in his hands. So I think with this rivalry, even with a guy like that out, I still think it's going to be a tough one. The 12th man definitely will get involved. The Rams know how to counter that on their side, but I don't think they have enough to get past Seattle. And I'm going to pick Seattle, but in a close one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams tomorrow. I think the Rams 3-4 get to 500. I hear what you're saying, and I could see it, but I believe the running back for Seattle's out as well, or he's questionable. Kenneth Walker. Does anybody know if Walker's playing? But I would go with the Rams. I just think the Rams are heating up at the right time, and Cooper Kupp is back. I just think they're a better overall team. Seattle hasn't showed me much. Give me the Rams. The Lamps. I do. Nakua is playing. I know that. So, but all right, moving along. Minnesota Vikings. This is the Sunday night game. Minnesota Vikings hosting the Indianapolis Colts.
I mean, to me, Flacco's going to be bringing, so this could be a different type of game. than a lot of people are expecting, just because Richardson's not going to be there, and of course Flacco's been able to manage the game a little bit more when he's shown for the past 2 years. So I expect this to be a little bit closer, but somehow I don't know how I'm jumping on this a little bit. I think they're going to fade off by the end of the year, but right now I think the Vikings are good enough to really beat some teams and make some trouble for some teams early. So unfortunately, Colts are kind of in their path right now, so I think the Vikings are going to take this matchup.
Yeah, Vikings take care of business big time. The Colts bench their starting quarterback Richardson. So Vikings at home. Vikings move to 6-2. Colts go to 4-5. Colts are a disaster of an organization, unfortunately. Give me the Vikings, baby. Vikings. This moves us along to the Monday night game. 8:15 Monday night. Good game. Kansas City Chiefs, the 7-0 Chiefs, host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay, so I do not blame everybody going Chiefs on this one. Chiefs big time. I'm actually going to go with the underdog, and I'm going to go Tampa Bay. I think Baker Mayfield is one of those games where he actually lights it up. Now, I could be wrong because you know how Baker is a 50-50 coin flip, and he could just throw 5 interceptions. But I think with a team like this, he'll turn it on. He'll actually live up to the competition. And I think the Buccaneers sneak this one, giving the Chiefs their first loss of the season. Yeah, exactly. I don't even know what to say about that, Phil. They're gonna quote him.
Yeah, now we're going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs to roll to 8-0. And that's it. I think the Bucs are banged up offensively. Think Baker comes up short.
But that was not the reason why they lost. He was off his game. He was throwing bad passes. He was throwing into coverages. That was the reason why he lost. It wasn't his receivers. So, I think he turns it on this week.
Okay. Well, we agree to disagree. That's all. We agree to disagree. So, well, there we go. That's all. That's it, everybody. Oh, wait.
No. Okay. I guess. Oh, I guess there's one more, right? There's one more left there.
Yeah, there's one more left.
So yeah, we're banged up going into this game. Into what that's been kind of the repeat record skipping thing every single week is will our offense be able to get going? Will our defense be able to stop anybody to keep our offense into games that when they're not playing well, they can get into games later on? It's just so backwards than what it should be. And but I don't know why. When you're really betting on it, if you were to really bet money, I think you should bet Atlanta. No, let's be real. But I had this feeling. I've had this feeling for a while with going into the season. These are certain games that we're going to lose. Even with Atlanta being as good as they were and as bad as we are doing, I still feel like this is one of those games that we can win and just kind of shock some people. And yeah, I'm not going to jump on their bandwagon that we're going to all of a sudden go on a winning streak, but I think this is definitely one of those games that they can win. I think they may have to come back to do it, but well, let's be real, man. This is a high-powered offense against a defense that's been.
His comments, he cracks me up.
And so I think by the end, I got to go with what Bryan's saying as well, because I was thinking about this earlier in the week, and where I was feeling the score is he was saying this Dallas team is going to need to score more than 30 points to win this game, and I think they do, where this final score is Dallas 34, Atlanta 27.
Wow. My God, Phil, do you really believe that?
I believe it, man.
Oh, man. I thought I was going to be the only idiot. Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at
let's be real,
team.
But let's be real, man. This Cowboys team could get blown out 40-something points to like 13.
And
it can happen.
I don't like saying that because it's kind of hedging, but that's kind of where I sit. Listen, I've already laid it out.
We play better on the road.
Dallas plays better on the road. Okay. Dallas has always played Kirk Cousins well. Mike Zimmer knows Cousins. Now, Cousins does know Mike Zimmer. But more importantly, the matchup I like is the fact that Atlanta does not get any pressure on the quarterback. And they only rush 6 people 58% of the time. So what that means is Dallas can actually run when a team only puts 6 men in the box. So the key is going to be getting touchdowns early, and I think this is a game where they will. I think you saw CeeDee Lamb get on a roll. Him and Dak are finally locked in. I would like to see CeeDee Lamb put in motion. I just don't want to stick him at the top of the screen and have them able to double team and lock AJ Terrell on him. Maybe put, I don't know, Flournoy or Kevontae Turpin in the slot. I would like that. Yeah, again, you saw since the bye week more movement. You're seeing more receivers open last week. Again, there's going to be a lot of points scored. If we don't get touchdowns early, people, and we don't have like a 10-point lead, it could get ugly. It really could. We need to get out. We need to be able to run the ball. And I think that whole Zeke Elliott mess where, he bitched because he was being deactivated. I called it 2 days ago that they should deactivate him. And they told him and he didn't like it. Oh, well, Zeke. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, you're not that guy anymore.
Rico Dowdle deserves the majority. But this is what I'm going to go with. Well, the line is a Cowboys plus 3.5, and it's the over-under is 52. The only way they're going to win it, they get into the 30s. I like Dallas 34, Falcons 31.
I like when we're close. I always like it when we're close.
34-31. This is one of those games where I actually believe we're going to score points. I don't think it's an if. I feel really strongly because Eagle fans should be happy they didn't trade for Matthew Judon because he's shot. He's not looking good. They just haven't generated a lot of a QB pressure, in which that lines up well for us. And they play less 7 and 8 man boxes than any other team in the league. They play a lot of coverage, so that should allow us to run the ball. So I'm excited about it. I'm just be happy to get a win. I'm not a flexing type of guy anyway, but as a Cowboy fan, we need a win, get to 500, and be able to hopefully possibly get Mike and Bland back for next week. That would be fun. I would think that my Eagle faithful would actually root for us to get a win. I know that's asking a lot, but I would think that, and I've been posing this question all week, and it seems like
you don't want us to have high draft picks. No, you don't want us to have.
They just want us to keep losing. I don't know why. I enjoy when both teams are good. So it's kind of like, okay, where do you guys come from? Are you worried, or you just don't want to have a great game or possible end of the season game in Philly? That don't bode well for Dallas either. But Washington after the win last week is saying we want Dallas. You should worry about the Eagles. Don't worry about Dallas. Worry about the Philadelphia Eagles. So they're already annoying me, everybody. The Washington Commanders fans are already friggin' annoying me, and that they've had a half a season of good football. So it's like, if it ain't Dallas, I hope it ain't Washington at this point. Sorry, you go Eagles. I'm just saying, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with it. So anyway, I'm taking the Cowboys 34-31. I think that's a little bit of wishing, but I do know that
maybe.
Even against some of these better teams, Phil, we didn't give up. Like the Niners, I know they were beat up, but they had.
I was expecting them to kind of just go a little bit crazy on us. Yeah, let's be real. So but that doesn't give anything. 1 week to the next week, you can't translate that. That's what we're talking about. Ifs, ands, and if this defense can do what it's possible, and if this offense can get going, this could be an actual game, and they can pull it off. But if they're having
fun,
I do.
All right, Twiz. I just want it to be fun for a Cowboys fan. I understand we're behind the 8 ball, but it would be fun. That's all.
I think there gets more to.
Ultra's going to tell you it's not looking good for any of us. Sorry.
No.
The Detroit Lions are.
I mean, that North. Well, in general,
that
that North.
We all give up, right?
That North looks really strong. You got the Vikings, you got the Green Bay, you got them, you got they're looking all strong. That's why I say like them getting those wild card spots as well are very likely. So, I mean, if you don't put some wins together now, I mean, you could be looking at that possibility if somebody doesn't start to go the other way. So, anyways, game time, man. We're a little bit shorter just because, obviously, to me, once you have a lot of these key injury guys back, when you have Bryan back, you can talk a little bit more about that matchup. When you're talking guys like Parsons, you can talk a little bit more about those matchups. Those key guys that are out that we have, and of course, when you're going into a game plan against the Cowboys. A game plan against Mike is normally that number one priority. Oh, we're going to run to him. Oh, we're going to block him. We're going to chip him. We're going to do something like that. There's always something involved there. And when you don't have to really worry about that and it kind of put all that main focus now on somebody else, that definitely falls into the other team's game. So we definitely need these guys to be able to come out of these injuries. You saw Bland come off the IR, but that didn't mean that he was going to be ready for the game. We saw him missing practice, but you had to. You had to go in that direction, and I do not blame him.
That 21-day window was up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and listen, as we pointed out, there's some ugly games. There's some ugly games tomorrow, but there's some cool games. The Dallas game, obviously. Buffalo, Miami's a good game.
There's a lot of games that are going to be close. I think there's going to be a lot of games that are just like neck and neck.
Giants.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but the Eagles game.
You're delusional, man.
I expect the Eagles to roll. Eagles are banged up a little bit. Jacksonville's banged up. So we're going to sit back and hopefully Dallas can get a win. That would help out the fan base a little bit. Nobody here is definitely chirping. We know we're in for a rough road with some of the choices our ownership has made, and our quarterback's not playing great, and we have the worst running game in the league. Listen, I look at it this way, Phil. I look at it from this perspective. There's only one way we can go, right? How much worse can we play? We could lose, but how much worse can we play?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
We haven't played well. So, again, I'm expecting some good things tomorrow. So let's just hope it happens for our Cowboys' sanity, right?
Exactly.
For our Cowboys' sanity.
Well, Bryan, I appreciate you coming through. We're going to jump back to on this Monday, hopefully talking about a Cowboys victory. Of course, what broadcast do you have on your channel for tomorrow?
I'm just going to do a post game of the Cowboy game. I right now I have it scheduled for 4:00, so we'll see. Okay. If I'm on at 4, that we'll do a post game. We'll play it by ear. Maybe we'll roll into the Eagles game or whatever, just let her rip for a little bit. But that's the idea, to do a Dallas post game. I got to start gearing up for this trip. It's coming up quick.
I got to start packing up on Monday because I
got to get some stuff done around here.
Yep.
Man, it's just plain old water, bro. Plain water.
Yeah, I got vodka.
Don't
let them lie to you. Just sipping on it.
No brown water, just regular water.
But, so, anyways,
I got stuff to do, and
getting ready. So we'll most likely jump back on Monday for our broadcast. Cause I'm trying to just think. I do plan on packing that Monday night as well too. So it's going to be interesting this next upcoming week.
Too long.
No. I'm looking forward to this trip. Even if things don't look as bright, I still look forward to everything. I see the. With this thing with the Mike McCarthy back and forth, we don't know what's going to happen there. But I think now the needle's pointing a little bit more in one direction. So we'll see how this NFL season is going to turn out. We don't know. We talking about how it's a week-to-week league, and here we go, week 9. And one thing I appreciate you guys not forgetting to do is do what?
Ring that bell.
You guys take care.
All right, good job, guys. Let's just not come in tomorrow. Let's just take a day.
Talking prime rib in bed. I'm using a blanket as a napkin. That's fancy. That's fancy.
Real fancy.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Yup.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I think we handled that with dignity.
Free candy!
Joni loves Chachi.